And we're live. Ahoy hoy. What's crappin'? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Sorry, just closing some shit on my phone. So I'm gonna be streaming some 15-minute chess, a couple rapid games. I actually studied today, which is good. I studied for 1 hour, so my new goal is to study for an hour every day, and then I'll make a Grandmaster soon. Psych. But yeah, so my new plan is to study for an hour a day, and I have a big tournament coming up, so hopefully I will be in shape for said tournament. But in addition to that, I'm gonna try and play one rapid game a day. I'm not always gonna stream it, um, but I will try and play one. So yeah, so there is that. Um, hey, look, it's me and all of my friends. So yeah, I played some interesting games the other day we can look at briefly. So here's a good one against this guy Alex Dunn, who was a master. He's actually played in the tournament in Rochester. Uh, Very strong player. Correspondence chess player. Very very strong correspondence chess player. I used to deal with him because I used to play correspondence chess as well. Not deal with him, but I used to interact with him. But I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't think him and I have ever actually played over the board. So, or even online for that matter. So this game was kind of interesting actually. I'm kind of curious if this is actually doing stuff. Okay, it is. Um, all right, cool. So, anywho, let's see who's here. It says two, but it could just be me. Well, in any event, I was able to beat this guy pretty convincingly, in my opinion, which is nice. It's nice to be able to beat a strong player like Alex. So we can briefly go over it. We played the. I was playing black. Sorry, give me a sec here, guys. Um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So, yeah, I was playing black. This is the Smith Moore Gambit. Oh fuck, we have a game. Okay, our opponent is somewhat lower rated, but that's okay. I'm curious how many games he's or she has played. A bunch. Okay, cool. All right. So we're gonna play the Sicilian defense because historically the Sicilian defense is uh, an opening that we play, that we've been known to play. Um, so this is the Sicilian Alapin variation. One of the masters in Rochester was like a specialist in this particular opening, so I've got a lot of practice playing this opening. Which is not to say that I play it particularly well as black, but I have a lot of practice playing it badly, so I have that going for me. Yeah. So in any event, it's somewhat telling that he's thinking here because okay, so that move is bad. Um, he should take on d5. That's the typical the typical move is to take on d5, and then I play queen takes d5, and he plays d4, yada 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 yada. But this move knight f3 hangs the e4 pawn. I wonder if he thinks that he can go, if I go d captures e4, he can go knight g5. That's what I'm currently looking at. So d captures e4, knight g5, knight f6, queen e2, bishop f5, queen b5 check. That would lose the b7 pawn, knight bd7, queen b7, rook b8, queen c6 or something. It doesn't really look particularly convincing. D captures e4, knight g5, knight f6, queen e2. Could I just go queen d3 there? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, D captures e4, queen a4 check. I don't think really helps him. Show me something. Show me what you've got planned. Okay, so his idea was to go queen a4 check. I don't really think that that buys you anything, though. Because I'm just going to chase his queen around the board. So I kind of want to go knight c6, but knight e5 could be problematic. Knight c6, knight e5, bishop d7, knight d7. That's kind of annoying. I can go bishop d7, queen e4, bishop c6, maybe? Seems reasonable. I can also go knight c6 here. That seems logical as well. I could also go knight f6, because queen b7, bishop c6. I'll have a lead on development. Rather, a lead in development, not on development. Knight c6 is interesting. What does he do after knight c6? d4 maybe? Maybe I can just take that and go e6 afterwards, though. Actually, bishop c6 I think is just reasonable here. I think bishop c6 is a strong move. I'll go knight f6 after that, after his next move. Interesting. Alright, yeah, now I think I just develop my pieces, right? If I go knight f6 and he goes knight e5, what happens then? I've always got bishop d5. Yeah, let's just go knight f6. I don't think I really care that much about him trading off the knight for my bishop, because he's going to be wasting time here to do all that stuff. So, cool. See, everybody's here. Everybody must be busy. Just as an FYI, I gotta, I think, go out and do some binge drinking at 10:30. That was kind of my plan for the evening. So I'll probably only be playing one, maybe two games tonight. Unless, of course, I lose in some embarrassing fashion, and then I'll probably be up all night playing. So we have that to look forward to, potentially. Alright, so bishop e2 is a very, I wouldn't say passive, but it's a very conservative approach to this position. What if we just go e6? You develop your pieces, and I'll develop my pieces. And my pieces are going to be better. That would be my prediction. d4 is still possible here. d4 could cause me some problems. So bishop d6, queen g5, castles, d4. That's something I have to think about. I don't know. Maybe. Sorry about that, everybody. And by everybody, I mean just me. So yeah. I like our position. I think our position is pretty decent. I mean, it's not going to shatter any kind of, you know, shatter any kind of world records or anything, but it's not bad. As black to have this position, I think we're doing okay. I think we're having fun. You know, we're making friends. He's got some weird pieces. He's going to have some problems here. d4 is probably a very good move in this position. But maybe I just take on d4. I don't know. Yeah, maybe take on d4 and then... Or maybe I just go bishop d6 immediately. There are a lot of ideas here. d4 is definitely one I have to think about, though. could also go bishop f3. I'm sure that was attractive. Um, Interesting. Queen c4. What is the point of that? I guess maybe he was worried about bishop d6. Just changes things ever so slightly. Maybe I'll just go bishop e7 here. He's wasting a lot of tempi with these queen moves. Like, the more he's moving his queen in the opening, the more pieces I'm getting developed. That should be an important thing for you guys to think about while you're playing chess. I could also go a6 with the idea of going bishop b5, but that seems somewhat, I don't know if optimistic is the right word, but that seems somewhat, yeah, optimistic is probably the right word. I don't really buy into his idea of, you know, shuffling his queen around a bunch. Not buying it. I'm just going to develop my pieces, and then I'm going to make the castle. And then it should be a pretty smooth sailing. I mean, he's this little queen foray from, you know, d1 to a4 to f4 to c4 is like, it just seems like a colossal waste of time. All right, now I want to go a6 though, because now so a6 prevents knight b5. Do I really need to prevent that though? What if I just castle? Castle's d4. I don't know. Maybe I should go a6. He's not really threatening anything though, right? Let's just castle. If he wants to put his knight on a3, okay, that's interesting. Bishop d5 or bishop g2. Bishop g2 is going to give him kind of an initiative. I bet the computer is probably going to suggest bishop g2, rook g8, or rook g1 rather. Bishop d5. I don't know, that seems kind of risky. I'll just go bishop d5 and ask him a question about his queen. So again, my pieces are looking pretty good here. His pieces are kind of weird. He's got some ish. TwitchCon tickets are on sale. That's an event that I will likely not be at. Unless one of you guys wants to fly me there. I wouldn't even know what to do at TwitchCon. I don't even know what happens at these conventions. I don't understand this move. Queen b5. He wants to take my b7 pawn? Is that really what you want to do? I don't think that is actually what you want to do here, guy. What if I just go a6? I get the distinct impression he's like walking his way into me checkmating his queen. You can't take on b7 because it's protected. So just keep that in mind, everyone. So again, we're strengthening our position here by playing a6 with a tempo on his queen. He's going to have to move his queen, then we'll be able to play another move. And our position is getting better, and his position is slowly getting worse. Move by move, his position gets worse. Look at all these queen moves in the first 10 moves. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's doing 40% queen moves in the first 10 moves. Here's 5 out of 11. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, so 45%. You know, you can't move your queen this often in the opening and expect to have a good position. I'm sorry, it's just not how chess works. I mean, that's not how my understanding of chess works, rather. You have to develop your pieces. And when I say develop your pieces, I don't mean move the same knight twice and move a knight to the rim, and I don't know. I don't think my position is, I should just say, I don't think I'm like +8 here or something, or like -8 or whatever, but I do think that I'm just better here. Yeah. That's interesting. What if I just go b5, queen c2? b5, knight b5. It's somewhat annoying. Could also just go knight c6 here. Or knight bd7. Knight c6, c4. Knight e5. cd, queen d5. Yeah, that's good. We'll take back this way. So we've got nearly all of our pieces developed, and that's generally pretty good. He still hasn't made the castle. He's got some weird pieces here. So I'd say we're doing okay. I'd say things are going my way. Oh, okay, he took. So once again, he's got to make another queen move. Yet another queen move. I might be able to take on g2 now, FYI. Because if I can take on g2, rook g8, queen d5 or something, I think that might be okay for me. Again, it seems kind of risky, but I don't know. It seems alright. I kind of want to go queen d5 in this position. Yeah, I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long day. I'm sitting around doing a whole hell of a lot of nothing. Interesting. Okay. Now what's stopping me from going b5? I don't know. We're gonna find out though. He's moved his queen around so much. It's like crazy. Like, what is... I don't understand. If he goes queen d3, I think I'm gonna go bishop e4. And I'll let him take my queen. And I'll take back with the rook. Although maybe I should keep the queens on. With like queen b6 or something. Yeah, if he goes queen d3, I could go queen d5. That would be bad. Oh. I got a lot of options here, folks. We got lots of options. Interesting. Alright. Should I continue to harass this queen? I could go bishop d6 here. That seems logical. Show me the money. Show me the money. Alright, we're going to go h6. Show me the money. H6 is a useful move. I don't really see a reason not to go h6 here. Because we're just holding on for tonight. We're just holding on for tonight. Okie dokie. So now... Interesting. What to do in this position? Bishop e7 might be possible. Hard to say. Hard to say what to do here. I could go knight d5. Give me a nice preponderance of pieces in the center. It might not be correct to trade off my queen, but I get the distinct impression that I'm still just better here. I'm gonna go knight f4 on the next move, basically. Alright, that seems sort of stupid. f3. What is the point of f3? What is his idea? Not sure. But as I said last move, I wanted to go knight f4. Now he has king f2 though. But I think I can go c4. You can't castle because I'll take on e2 with check. That would be abysmal. That would be the worst thing to happen since I don't know. I don't know what that would be worse than. Hey, it's me. Yeah. So anyways, cause we're just holding on for tonight. Oh wow, G3. Interesting. Uh, I mean, my plan was to just take on e2 and just try and win with the bishop pair. Is that still my plan? I don't know. I don't know if that's still my plan or not, guys. And gals. I mean, if A then B, right? Like, we put the knight on f4, we might as well take on e2. That seems like a logical choice. And then we're going to go c4. And we're going to punish him for not playing correctly. And then we'll go bishop c5. I should be winning better than this. This seems like it's going to require a lot of long, protracted moves here. But for the time being, he's sort of stuck. I might be able to just take on a3 as well and punish him with this pawn structure. Yeah, I think he'll have a tough time defending this pawn structure, actually. Because my idea here is I'll go bishop a3, b captures a3, rook d3, and then he's going to be forced to play rook f1, and I'll play rook a8, and he'll just be tied down forever. Interesting. Go bishop c5 here. If knight b4, we'll go bishop b7. Our idea is we're going to keep the bishop pair. It's going to be an important part of us winning this chess game, because we're going to torture him with this bishop pair. And he's still really deficient in development here. I mean, and that actually matters in the end game, believe it or not. I thought he might play knight e3. I don't know. Does that matter? What if I just go rook d3? Does he have any way to kick me out? I don't think so. I'm in his house now. We in the house, yo. We in the house, yo. And this scrub ain't gonna kick me out of this house. This is my house now. See this house? That's my house. I'm gonna live there. I'm gonna pay a mortgage too. And maybe I'll get a new house and I'll charge people rent. Like this guy, I'll start charging him rent. Yeah, I'm gonna start charging you rent, scrub. Interesting. Alright, so now we can take, and take on c3. Right? Does that work? Well, we win a pawn. Winning pawns is typically things that I like to do. That's that shit I do like. Yeah. Well, I would say things are going decently here. I mean, I'm no aficionado on these sorts of things. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Okie dokie. I don't really know how that changes the math here, but we still win our pawn. Like bishop b2, rook c2 check. Yeah, you're just losing here. Take this guy. That was a really stupid move, bishop b2. That was the sort of stupid thing that, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. And of course he's not going to bother to resign. All right. So let's take his bishop. That'll show him. I'm going to go bishop f3 check here. And then, oh, he resigned. Okay, no great surprises here. All right, well that was pretty easy. He blundered really badly there. That was pretty weak. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, week. All right, getting crazy here with all the people in the room right now. Let's analyze this real quick. So, FYI, for the uninitiated, this is the Sicilian Alpin variation. The main idea is to do this stuff. You can take here. This is like a gambit line. I actually think that this might be the correct move order. I think knight f6 first might be correct. Let's find out. I've got a couple minutes. I don't mind. Let's do us some learning. Oh, hello. Let's find out what the move order is. d4. Thrip. So I said knight f6 I think might be correct. Yeah, knight f6 is correct. I don't really think it matters that much, but I'm sure that that guy Sveshnikov would disagree with me. By the way, he is the foremost leading expert on the Sicilian C3 Alpin variation. He's wrote a tome, like the Bible, of the Sicilian Alpin. He is like, yeah, he knows these systems. Let me tell you what. Yeah, my preference here is to play actually knight c6. And then if bishop e2, I usually go e6 here. Yeah. And then if castles, I'll go bishop e7. And then if bishop e3, then we take on d4. Yes, now we take on d4. And he'll take, and then we'll castle. And then he'll go knight c3. And then we'll go queen d6. And then he'll go knight b5. Or he won't go knight b5. I think knight b5 is actually the best move. Wait just a second here. Let's see what the good players are playing. I don't really give a fuck about this 2160 guy. Let's see what the intelligent people are doing here. Radislav Wojtkiewicz. What did he do? He went rook c1. Alright. Is it Joseph Duda or Jan Duda? Yeah, I think I know that guy. He also went rook c1. And Victor Korchnoi. Queen b3, that's a weird move. Luprulescu. What'd you do? You went rook c1. So apparently rook c1 is the move. I stand corrected. Is that Yu Yangyi or Yangyi Yu, whatever his name is? Ah, Yermolinsky. What did you do, Yermolinsky? You went rook c1. All right, that's enough evidence in my opinion. If enough strong players go rook c1, then that's the correct move. So after rook c1, I think we go knight b5 or b4, or maybe we go b6. What do we do? Rook c1, a6 maybe is possible. Yeah, I think a6 is probably the best move, or b6, one of these two. Let's find out. What did the intelligent people do in this position? Alright, we're still in this game. Rook d8. What'd you do? You went rook d8. He went bishop d7, which doesn't seem good. Mikhail Tal? Really? He played this position? He went b6. Ooh, tall one. A nice quick game. Interesting. This dude tried to have a tactical pissing match with Tal. Not recommended, folks. Not recommended. Yeah, he just blundered here, I think. This guy playing white. Yeah, seems like a really bad blunder, actually. Yikes. Yeah. Igor Novikov. So apparently the correct move here is rook d8. See that? Learning openings. One opening at a time. Queen d2 or a3. a3 seems very logical to prevent knight b4. So what happens after queen d2? Knight d5. Sure. Knight d4. Queen b4. Interesting. Alright, anyhow, we're getting into the weeds. Alright. So, wow. Holy fuck, there's a lot of you here. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I don't know what the fuck. Reconnect, motherfucker. Well, in any event, so the point is though is that this seems stupid. Yeah. So I took, and he played queen a4 check. I don't know. This foray doesn't seem really all that legitimate to me, but what do I know? Excuse me. Oh, wait a sec. I'm hearing myself in my own ear. This is awful. This is my own personal hell. They never came back for Laboon. Feels bad, man. Yeah, man. I would agree. I would agree. Alright. It'd be cool if, like... Yeah, it's, yeah. I don't know, so apparently bishop c6 might not have been the most accurate move, but I liked it. So, fuck you, computer, that's why. You can eat the dick. Okay, so e6 I thought was reasonable. Knight f6 is also reasonable. A very, yeah, passive conservative move here. Very unassuming. Yeah, I thought bishop d5 was good. I thought a6 was okay. Oh, you know, that's stupid, yeah, because what I thought was that this wasn't protected by the bishop. I thought that that would be actually a problem, but this is actually just losing for him. Because I can just take here, and then if he takes, I just take this way. And then I actually go here and do this thing. And this thing. Yeah. So b5 would have been better, but I'm sure my move is probably not that bad. Yeah, sure. Now the computer wants me to take on g2. Well, the computer would say that, because the computer is greedy. The computer is a greedy, greedy pawn monster. Oh fuck, this is actually working now. Hey, thanks for joining me, by the way, everybody. I appreciate you. Knight d5 would have definitely been better, I think, in lieu of what happened during the game. So yeah. This move I think would have been a lot better, because then I can put my bishop over here. Just give him a little tickle. Give a little luft for the king. I like these kind of moves. Yeah, the computer wanted me again to take on g2, but in that position it seemed more risky. I don't know. Again here, though, like, I have a lead in development, and believe it or not, that is important for the endgames. So, yeah, if A then B, right? We put the knight on f4 with the idea of taking his bishop, then we take his bishop. We don't abandon our plans once we've decided to make a plan. So we've got the bishop pair, and that's good. We like the bishop pair. The Bishop pair has very rarely stirred us in the wrong direction, or steered us in the wrong direction. Steered us in the wrong direction. Bishop pair is a friend. So just by the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, the bishop pair is worth a little bit more. So like if you consider, who was it? Irving Chernev. I think that was the guy who proposed the idea that like each piece has a value. Like pawns are worth 1 point, bishops and knights are worth 3 points, rooks are worth 5 points, the queen is worth 9 points. I think he said it was worth 10. When I first learned it though from my dad told me it was worth 9, so that's how I've always thought about the queen, which may be a devaluation, but the queen is worth roughly, like two rooks are generally better than a queen. Two bishops are generally better than, or two minor pieces rather, are generally better than a rook. And there's also, I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors that go into this, but these are just the general rules. Like two minor, like a rook and or bishop and a knight is worth generally more than a rook. Two bishops are actually worth more than a bishop and a knight. It's actually better. Like these two are better than these two. Like two bishops are worth like, if you can think that a bishop is worth 3, having two of them is worth like 6.5, right? So they're worth like 3.25. So I don't know. It's hard to articulate, but I think what's his name? Kaufman. What's that dude's name? He's like the old dude who looks like Benjamin Franklin. Ah, fuck, what's his name? He's his son Ray Kaufman. Why can't I think of his name? He's a grandmaster. Larry Kaufman, that's his name. He looks like Benjamin Franklin. Um, yeah, but he had like um, oh, that's interesting. Wasn't aware of that. So Larry um, does a lot of work with computers. Specifically, I think Komodo is the engine he works with, or Stockfish, one of the two. But he has basically like done a lot of evaluation on the two bishops, and his theory, the latest theory is saying that the bishops are worth like 6 or 7 pawns. So anyway, short story long. Komodo, yeah, Komodo. Uh, yeah. So let's see here. Knight e3 I thought was reasonable. F5, really? What did it think about rook d3? So apparently taking that pawn was not the best idea. What doesn't it like? Rook d1? Yeah, but so what? I got a pawn. Doesn't it see I have a pawn? Computers love taking pawns. uh, who cares about this move, rook d1? I don't think I do. I don't think I care about that move. I should go king f8, right? Rook d2. So what? King e7. Uh oh, we're fucking up. We are fucking it up. Yikes, we have to give back our pawn. Bad times. Bad times all the way around. Anyways, yeah, okay, so apparently taking on c3 was not the best, but, yeah, so this is where he blundered horrendously too, by the way. So this is just obvious. Yeah. But had he played this move, what would I have done? King f8's a bit dubious, as we just learned. Bishop d5, e4. Yeah, rook b8 seems logical. Alright, rook d2 anyway, though. f6, really? What the fuck is the point of that? Someone explain this to me. f6, bishop b2. Then what happens? Oh, duh. That would be very bad. He can't take on d3. That'd be 8 different kinds of stupid. Alright, rook a d1. Seems logical. What if I go c3? Rook d3, cb2, rook b1, and then I can pretty much resign. All right, in that case, yeah, what do we do here? Maybe we go rook d8. Oh, bishop a4. Yeah, it seems pretty good too, actually. Oh, the makers of Komodo brag about GM evaluation. Yeah, Larry Kaufman's an interesting guy. I've played in tournaments with him. He seems like a nice guy. Actually, my dad was like sitting next to him on an airplane one time, and he was like, so my dad is on an airplane, and he's sitting next to this guy, and this guy is playing chess on the computer, and the guy beats the computer, and he finds like a really nice tactic, and my dad goes, "That was a nice move," and the guy goes, "Thank you," and they start talking, uh, and as it turns out, the guy who was sitting next to him is a grandmaster, and my dad's like, "Whoa, that's really cool. You're a grandmaster." And then, as it turns out, the guy's Larry Kaufman. So hey, that's a fun little story. My dad ran into Larry Kaufman on air. He's sitting next to him on an airplane. Um, so yeah, but Larry Kaufman's an interesting dude because he got his like grandmaster title really late in life. He won it by winning the senior. Uh, like he was an IM forever, I guess, and then he won the senior championship, which automatically confers the grandmaster title upon you. So that's really awesome. That must have been like a dream come true for him. Um, so yeah, he seems like a nice enough guy too. He definitely has uh, probably slipped a little, I guess, in his old age. He's not that old though, but he's definitely stronger than I am. So, but it definitely does seem like when we're playing in the same tournaments that uh, he yeah he is not necessarily the strongest grandmaster. I'll just say, but he made the grandmaster, and so more power to him. I also much prefer Komodo and Stockfish for opening analysis. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't generally use the computer for opening analysis. Um, my my games never really like usually in the opening my opponents will fuck up far before I actually need to do some actual analysis. like like even in this game, if we just go back here, I'll just show you real quick in case you missed it. Like the computer is effectively worthless for I could dig really deep into this to say an Alpin, and like, or excuse me, like try to find like, well, what does it think is best here and here and blah blah blah. But then invariably what happens is your opponent plays knight f3, and then it's just like, well, what the fuck, like on move three they're deviating from the program. So I don't know. I don't generally value the computer that much in opening analysis, which is probably a mistake on my part, but um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's too many things that could possibly happen. It's too much. Like it's already saying negative half a pawn. That means nothing to me. And this on move three, like I don't know. I feel like white gets half a pawn just for breathing in a lot of these openings. So it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's one of those funny things. I agree with the computer when it agrees with me, right? That's the trick to the computer. I agree with it when it agrees with me. When I disagree, yeah, it's definitely good for that. On move three though, I'm not so confident in its ability to like half a pawn. If I was so if let's pretend that the computer played this as white, I'm sure that within 5 or 6 moves the computer would have equalized with white and then would go on to crush me like a fucking grape probably within 24, 25 moves. So you know doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot to me that it's saying negative 0.52 now, but whatever. It's all, I guess, semantics. Anyway, um, yeah, but I agree with you. It's definitely useful to punish. Yeah, well, of course, yeah, yeah. and it not only would it beat us with -3, but my friend Grandmaster. I don't mean to name drop here so frequently, but I do have some friends in the chess world. So my friend Alex Lenderman, who's a grandmaster, um, basically, was saying that a lot of the times he doesn't resign because like in a lot of positions the computer, like, he'll be up a piece and the computer will still beat him, and that really made me feel like, oh, okay, so even GMs have problems converting winning positions against the computer. Winning the one chess game is probably the hardest part of chess. So it's good to know that GMs also suffer from the same, uh, maybe it's not a lack of technique, but the same inability to convert one games against computers that I also suffer from. So yeah, -3, I wouldn't even be confident in my own ability uh, to to beat a computer in many positions. I mean, I'm sure in a lot of positions I would easily win against a computer if it was -3. Like if there's like an end game and I'm just up a bishop or something, right? Like I don't think I'd have too much trouble converting that. Although I say that and I'm probably would figure out some way to fuck it up. But yeah. So look at all this blue text. Jesus Christ. I guess we can. Let's see. Did I do anything else interesting? What is this game? I remember this game. Yeah, this was a fun game. Um, did I play this one live? When is this from? When are you from? 814. Oh, I think I did play this live. Yeah. Well, in any event, I've got to start killing some brain cells here. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Yeah, it definitely does feel like um, I don't know. It definitely does feel like a lot of your opponents tend to uh, tend to wiggle out. It never happens to you. You never wiggle out of good or a bad position. That's not entirely true though. I've wiggled out of so many fucking lost games and lost positions. It's like it's just I don't know. I feel like a highway robber sometimes in my games where it's like, oh my god, like this guy just completely shot the pooch on this one. Um, but I am one of those people who can sometimes wiggle out of horrendous positions and manage to salvage a draw from from the jaws of defeat. But there are also many games where I just lose easily from lost positions. So yeah, no, it's kind of a give and take. I don't think I win statistically more games from lost positions than anybody else, but I have won many a game from a lost position, and I always feel like somewhat morally bankrupt for doing so. But it's chess. This shit happens. Um, yeah, it's just confirmation bias. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you don't resign into kind of blah 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 blah. Yeah, sure, sure. And again, I've seen Alex Lenderman do it too. I mean, Alex Lenderman has like he plays to mate basically, even against other grandmasters. I mean, he'll play to mate. Um, and it's just kind of a testament to his fighting spirit. He doesn't say draw, right? Like Alex Lenderman is he's a fighter. He's gonna fight you tooth and nail for fucking every square on the board. If you want a square, you better be prepared to snatch it from him. Otherwise, he'll gobble up your squares and fucking crush you. So um, and yeah, I've definitely seen him win. Like so he recently won the U.S. Open. Um, but before that, he went 5-0 in the Marchand, and along the way, he beat two 2,500 grandmasters when he easily could have drawn, especially the last game against Brian Smith. He easily could have made or not easily. I mean, nothing in chess is easy, right? But he he could have, you know, acquiesced and made a draw there, but instead he just kept playing. He kept playing. He kept playing. He kept playing, and then Brian Smith makes a mistake, and Alex wins. And so instead of sharing, what would have been $8,000 between two of them, totaling $4,000, he walked away with I think $5,000 or something. So the the inability or the lack of wanting to acquiesce, netted him an extra grand, and it's that kind of fighting spirit which, you know, you see he wins, the U.S. Open, and you're like, I mean, on the one hand, yeah, it's surprising. Having a good result like that is surprising, but on the other hand, you're like, yeah, well, he's a strong player. He doesn't acquiesce, and he fights for every inch of the chessboard. So he's got that fighting spirit. Yeah. But in any event, well, Fate, thanks for joining me, and you also B3 he. Um, so I hope everybody has a good night. Be sure to kill them brain cells, and I'll catch you all some other time.